All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Seti. We live. We got a commentary, serious commentary on the war going on in Iran right now. Giving it to you from the general's perspective. It's time for the United States to close in on Russia, close in on China, striking Iran, getting rid of the third leg. One of the third leg, but primarily the third leg, including North Korea, but Iran being much more volatile in the sense that Iran wants to be number one. Black power to the family out there. Iran is different than North Korea. North Korea just want to be left alone. North Korea just want to live in the hills of Korea, the mountains, the mountainside of Korea. They don't got no problem with that. They don't have no ambitions to rule the world. But Iran is something different. Iran has been the big dog on the planet at one time when Persia had empire. It has tasted empire. It has tasted being the big dog on the planet. Been a while. Black power to all the family out there. Been a while, but yet and still they have ambitions of returning back to their former glory. You see, but at the expense of who? At the expense of who? You see, and willing to share the spotlight with Russia. Willing to, they want to rule, you got these, nation, China also being the big dog at one time. Russia, being, one of the close to the big dog at one time. You see, so you have a fight for who's going to be supreme on the planet. This is real talk. Yeah. Britain, he said, what was I going to say about Britain? I'm going to talk about Britain, and I'm going to sideline Britain at this time is insignificant. Britain is insignificant at this time because you really, and Britain can't bring, it at one time, it was the big dog on the planet. You see, but that was a while ago. People done got much more militaristic since then. See, at that time when people just had bow and arrows and spears, and Britain got a hold of some ammunition and and some and had some machine guns against people that had bow and arrows and spears. But today that's different. Them same areas where they went in to conquer got AK-47s and missiles and a million man. India got 2 million man army. So Britain is insignificant at this time. But it's trying to gain its prominence through policy and so which you got to play to everybody's emotions, and so you playing for the Muslim emotion because you got a lot of Muslims in Britain today, and so they got they got some say in Britain. They got some say in Britain, so you want to cater to the Muslims and the Muslim. That's okay. That's what you want to do. I'm just saying what it is. Black power to my family out there. I'm just telling you what it is. But I tell you what, you see, they're going to ride with the United States. That's how it's going to ride. That prime minister in there right now, he ain't going to be there long. He didn't stumble. You see what I'm saying? He didn't stumble because Britain know good and well that it need United States, which it did in World War II. Germany, Hitler would have been on top of their head if it wasn't for the United States. You see, France too, liberated France, liberated a lot of them countries over there. I'm just saying what it is. You can look at it for what it is. And our brothers and sisters, fathers and uncles went over there to fight that war, but they can't, if it come down to China or it come down to Russia, Europe is not prepared to deal with that. They're going to roll over them, you see. So Britain is in a predicament where, they're going to end, what's going to happen, especially under Donald Trump, they're going to get played like Canada in a minute if they don't fall in line You see what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff, just like that one island that's out there. Man, United States been to took it. Real talk. What they gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You don't want no war with the United States. So I mean, that what is this? What is that base out there? Garcia, Diego, I believe is the island. It's in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and Britain ended up taking it from the indigenous black population that was out there. So and so they took it, and so United States, got some they bombers on that at that base, and here it is when they got ready to take off. Britain say they couldn't take off. You know what's gonna happen? They're going to put themselves in a predicament. Watch what I tell you. And they're going to end up taking that island from Britain. And Britain ain't going to be able to do, Diego Garcia. Yeah, Diego Garcia. Yeah. So understand that. So they're going to end up taking it, because if it come down to that island being necessary in any type of confrontation with China and Russia, they're not going to ask Britain. They're gonna kick their ass off the island, and they're gonna take the island from them. Simple as that. And they ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. Period. Just let's deal with it. What you gonna do? You gonna go down there? You want a war with the United States? You want to do that? You want to come to odds? You understand? And you see that's what in Britain. And the thing is, Australia and Canada sided with the United States when they went to Iran. They ready to oust their own mama. You understand? Britain is falling out of, they didn't fell out of, they didn't fell out of the coalition. Yeah, they didn't fell out of the coalition. Yeah. You say U.S. is mistakenly. Yeah. Well, it is in who want to touch it, because they know there's going to be a backlash if they do. You understand what I'm saying? Japan was the last nation that attacked the United States at Pearl Harbor, and they paid dearly for it. They dropped 2 atomic bombs on them, and that was almost 70-some years ago. So if they drop something on somebody right now, what type of devastation that could be. You see, so who want to feel that type of ravaging? You see what I'm saying? But, Britain is, at this time, Britain is insignificant. You see what I'm saying? They're going to fall in line. They're going to fall in line. They're going to fall in line. Believe what I tell you. You see what I'm saying? Or when it come time for you to deal with Putin and shit and all that, go on, you deal with it. Don't get on the phone and think we're going to send, our sons and daughters and mothers and uncles and fathers that go over there to go to war for you. You understand what I'm saying? And then when it come time, you understand and that's crazy. You see why you think United States went to World War II? They went over there to fight for goddamn Europe. They didn't go over there because yes, Hitler probably had intentions on coming across the water if he could. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, if they could hold their thing down over there, why would it be necessary? Y'all can't even hold y'all thing down over there. You know what I'm saying? Adolf Hitler ran through Europe, you see, on his way to Britain, bombing them to death. He was, bombing them and everything over there, So if it was not for the United States, he probably would have took Britain. He would have took Britain. So there it is right there. Yeah, so there it is right there. So Britain is insignificant as far as anything, as far as, any type of warfare. You know what I'm saying? They got a third. They can't go to back on the ground with nobody. Who they gonna go to ground? Who they gonna go to ground on the ground with? Who? You couldn't even put the British in without significant losses. I mean, you even talk about going down there to Argentina. You see what I'm saying? When they went down there to fight the Falkland Wars, down there to Argentina sunk some of them ships. Yeah, they end up, but the United States was helping them then. Shit, they was helping Britain then when they went down there to the Falkland Islands. But Argentina had hurt them, hit a couple of their ships. You know what I'm saying? They took some significant losses going. So now imagine going somewhere today. Imagine going somewhere today in a real volatile state. You know what I'm saying? By themselves. Yeah, they got some planes. Yeah, they got some things like that. Yeah, they could. But when they hit that groundwork, it's not going. They don't have the type of army. You know, they're just like Russia. You know, they always want to threaten massive destruction because they just want to drop a bomb. That's what they want to do. They want to drop a bomb. But when it comes down to putting them boots on the ground, you do not have an army that's significant enough to deal with the world today because the world is strapped. The world is strapped. They younger. They volatile. They already been fighting. Many of these nations in Africa, they've been fighting forever. So their soldiers is battle tested. You see what I'm saying? They ready to get in and get busy. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. But they instant. But what we talking about right here is, you know, Iran, because you see, Iran is even lacing Russia with the drones. And, you know, Russia had come to a point where they had used a lot of their stockpile. So they had to rely on North Korea. They had to rely on Iran for you know, the drones and whatever missiles that they could get their hands on. And so what they're doing is they know that Iran is a third leg in that China. You know, it could be a fourth leg if you include North Korea. But, you know, I don't think North Korea at this point in time, North Korea just want to be left alone. You see what I'm saying? They just want to be left alone. So I don't think North Korea really want to get into with Russia because they see that the walls is closing in on Russia. When they seize Iran, that is going to be because you got to think about it. Russia lost Syria what was it, last year? You know, so they had run what's his name, Bashir up out of there. So he ran up into Russia with his tail between his legs. So Russia then lost Syria, lose Iran, and you know, ain't no coming back to Cuba. Ain't no coming back to the West. You see, ain't no coming back to the West. If Russia come back across that water with any type of military again, they gonna have problems. They probably gonna meet them out there in that ocean. You see what I'm saying? They cutting all that off. Ain't no going back to Cuba. Ain't no Venezuela ain't no coming through the Panama Canal. Do you see this? I mean, just be real. They didn't already went down there, shut the Panama Canal down. You understand? They didn't went in there, Venezuela. They selling their oil. People keep talking about the United States is doomed. Man, make it make sense. See, all that philosophical, that's why you losing. Because you want to be philosophical about a war that people's is really logistically and militarily, strategically fighting and winning while people's out here running off at their damn mouth. You see what I'm saying? No, they're not. They're winning. They're winning. And right now it's a damn landslide. You see what I'm saying? It's a landslide. Maduro is up under the prison somewhere. And him and his wife, how is they losing? And you understand, they telling Mexico fall in line. Mexico falling in line too. They just knocked off somebody down there not too long ago. You see, they knocking off the cartel. Yeah, they're going to have a problem with them initially. But they going to squeeze them too. They squeezing everybody right now. You see what I'm saying? And they're going to do it, you understand, in a way because they already got the doctrine to be able to fight 2 or 3 wars at one time. You see, to be able to fight 2 and 3 wars at one time. So while they was over there in Iran, I seen where they was somewhere else. What was they at? They was somewhere else. You see people talking, they were somewhere else kicking ass. And while they was in Iran, no, was that, man, listen, they were somewhere else kicking ass. They kicking ass in 2, 3 places at one time. So they got the Panama. So when he came in, he said, ain't nobody coming through the Panama Close that down. Got Venezuela. Cuba is coming in. They coming in. They what you expect the people to do? Listen to y'all out there? You think they just gonna listen? Oh, you know they need gas right now. They need gas right now. You ain't got to live like that. You ain't got to live like that. What you gonna do to cut the gas back on? You ain't gonna do nothing. Quit talking like you really gonna do something. You're not gonna do. When you shut off people resources like that, what do you think they're gonna do? Live like some damn cave people? They're gonna say, well, okay, damn, okay. What do we gotta do? You see what I'm saying? What do we got to do to survive? So they're gonna do that without losing their dignity. I don't think they gotta lose their dignity, but the days where they can align with Russia and all of that, them days is over. Russia ain't got no reach over in the West. That they shutting that down. China will have no. This is what they saying. No Asian country, even though they over there, but that's what the big dog can do. That's what the big dog can do. He can do it. Well, why you? That's what the big dog can do. It's always been a big dog on the planet. I don't know what world y'all live, where people just live and walked around and whistled and eat fruit and you know, and skip through through the paradise and and just listen to the little birds chirping. And what world y'all living in? It's always been a big dog. Either you're gonna be the big dog or you're gonna be the little dog or you're gonna be the dead dog. Whichever one you want to be. It ain't never been where it was nothing other than that. Okay, so come out of your fairy tale, Dr. Seuss literature and come to reality. Yeah, Russia ain't doing nothing. Russia is over with. Russia a third world country, man. Come on, man. Russia third world. They soldiers out there starving. Come on, man. Russia is a third world country. They soldiers out in the middle of the field with no food. Get out of here. They can't even feed their soldiers. You understand what I'm saying? Stop it. They can't even feed their damn soldiers. So you know, let's be realistic. So what's happening? They're closing off the drone access to Russia, and so it's gonna be a slow. They about to squeeze Russia to where all their money gonna be going to war. They people gonna get sick of that. They people what they pushing Russia into where they gonna have to spend almost, man, you talking about a high percentage of they gross national product or whatever, how much money they make. They're gonna be spending it on bombs and war, and them people over there sick of that shit. They ain't going, all the money going to war. What is we getting out of Ukraine? They're causing you to use all our money towards this war. So people is sick of that. You know what I'm saying? Is Ukraine worth the whole of Russia living in poverty? Inflation is through the damn roof. No. Them people's is you talking about Russia, man? You're confused. You're serious confused. Do you know how long Russia been over there fighting Ukraine? See, you the type of person. Please. You the type about whooping they man. Do you know if Ukraine had got into it with the United, they'd be just like Venezuela. It would have been over in 2 weeks. It'd have been over there in 3 weeks. You talking about Russia whooping Ukraine, a little nation like that. You act like they fighting, you know what I'm saying? You act like they fighting the United States or China. Is you serious? Man, please, man. Go watch Cartoon Network. Stay on your level. You off your level, man. You act like it's big to whoop Ukraine. You was fighting Ukraine for 4 years. Is you serious? And supposed to be the second largest, strongest military nation on the planet? Man, get over there on Nickelodeon, family. Stay off the military channels, and you know what I'm saying? You ain't ready for that, man. Yeah, he whooping Ukraine. Really? Big deal. You should have won by now. You should have won by now. Anyway, family, they cutting off Russia's pipeline. We got one more. We're going to deal with what's happening with the Chinese pipeline in Iran. Come right back, family. Get over there. We're going to have a breakdown this evening. You know, they're like, man, Russia whooping Denmark, a little country with 2 people in it. Ukraine is a third world country. And you understand what I'm saying? So if it take them 4 years to fight Ukraine and not even get it, do you know the United States would have took Kyiv, the capital, they would have took it in 2 weeks. They would have took that capital, man. Damn, they went into Baghdad, Iraq, man. You talking about a volatile nation. You see what I'm saying? They went and took their capital in less than 2 weeks or 30 days. They already had their capital. Yeah, they had to fight, but they let them know. We in here. We in your capital. You feel what I'm saying? Stomping around on your ground in your capital. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You break their morale like that. Like, damn, they did come in here and take us. You see what I'm saying? Now you ain't even took Kyiv. Matter of fact, that the little land that Russia took, they ain't been able to get no more land. They going back and forth with the little land that they took. Is you serious? Man, stay out of this. This not your, either come to class, man, or go and get back on Nickelodeon. I'll see y'all in a minute, family. Later on, Patreon, we're going to have a serious breakdown. Come in, build with the general. You feel what I'm saying? Click the link. I'll see you later. Boom, Black Power.